Go bring back my brother. Oh, that's why me say freedom. Those are some principles no man can defraud. The land with a river flowing with honey. Colonizers take our every money. Get no youth them price and it was not funny. We're losing our people every day because of freedom. Freedom. Go bring back my brother. Oh, that's why me say freedom. Don't get me wrong, leaders of Cameroon. He who live by sword shall die by the sword. Those are some principles no man can defraud. The land with a river flowing with honey. Colonizers take our every money. Get to you the price and it was not funny. We're losing our people every day because of freedom. Go bring back my brother. Oh, that's why we say freedom. Free the Amazonians. Freedom. Sound Cameroonian. sounding Cameroonian.
Yes, hello. Good afternoon, good evening. Today is another beautiful Sunday. I have with me 3 gentlemen on today's show, and today's show is going to be a different segment. We have 3 different people talking about different topics on this show today. One, we have Mr. Combatant Kemta Emmanuel, who will be talking about the dictator. Some will call him the beast. Some will call him any name you choose to. He's coming to the United Kingdom for the Commonwealth. And we know he'll be here for a while, and we are planning to disrupt the occasion. That's why we have Combatant Kemta Emmanuel to tell us, because he has a history of fighting back and demanding for his right as a Cameroonian in a country where deprivation is the watchword. And we have Baristande of Belgium. I think this is the second time he's been on this show. And today he'll be addressing some of the controversies that has gone on his name. And he feels it's not right. He needs to clear it. My name was part of the controversy, but I know nothing about it. I just saw it on social media. I will say exactly what I know about it, and he will say what he knows about it. And then I have with me Mr. Zaman Isaac. He's from the USA. This is the second time he's been on this show, and he will be talking generally about bulletins of the week. What is it that we need to know in terms of this struggle? What has popped up in this week that we need to be advised about? That's why we have these 3 gentlemen talking about 3 different topics, but all to improve or better the lives of our struggle and make sure we'll reach our final goal. I'm going to start by greeting the newcomer in our midst, which is Combatant Emmanuel Kemta. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you very much.
Okay. So I'm just going to welcome Mr. Zaman. Welcome to the Gilly show today again.
Thank you, Gilly, and greetings to all our parents and our people back at home in Ground Zero in Amazonia.
Yeah.
I'm delighted to be with you this evening.
Okay. Welcome to the show, Mr. Baristande. Welcome to the show. It's a Sunday show. I know you're still trying to find your way around, but welcome to the Gilly show. It's another Sunday.
Yeah, thank you very much, Gilly. Well, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity once again to be part of your show. And I want to greet all our televiewers, and especially our brothers who are on Ground Zero, who are taking all the bullets. It's unfortunate that we have to be coming out to clarify certain situations, which I will call it distraction, and the time that we should have been using to move our struggle forward, we have to be using that time to come out and debunk misrepresentations of all kinds. Thank you very much, and I will be part of this program tonight.
Okay, thank you very much. I think I'm going to start by putting a bit of perspective to Combatant Emmanuel Kempta. I think for me, he's a guest. I've always seen him on TV and on other platform. I thought it was good for us, especially at this time when we have the dictator from Cameroon coming to London, for us to put some perspective. And I think for me, I want to give him a profile, because you can see he's dressed in a Bamenda attire, which I'm proud of to see. He challenged me to go and put on kaba today. Normally, I don't wear African wear. I do more the dresses and the top. But when I see him today come out bold and proud and put on his Bamenda hat, I thought, no, this was a challenge to me. I should also go and put on my kaba. So I'm putting on my kaba today to represent where I'm from, which is the southwest of southern Cameroons. But I think Mr. Kempta, if I want to give him a profile, he's somebody that when we had not even thought of fighting, he was out there doing it. I think somebody's background, there is noise. When we had not even started thinking about going out there and protesting fearlessly and fiercely, he had started doing it. I could remember the last video where I saw him in Switzerland in the hotel, screaming and shouting down the place to say Pobia will have no peace in Switzerland, that he cannot be living in 5-star hotels, why people in his country are languishing in penury, no food to eat, no education, and no lifestyle. He had started doing this way back before we even got to this point where we are all on the same page with him. So for me, it was an honor to bring him on this show to tell us way forward. What do we do? The beast is in town. How do we make sure that he stays, is uncomfortable? We make sure that he has no peace, because like they say, there is no peace for the wicked. And we want him to advise us. We make sure that there is no peace. And Mr. Kempta, bringing him today, is somebody whom I've seen in protest. He probably would not know that I've seen him in protest. I've sat behind, watched him in protest. And I think, to me, we are not fighting our Francophone brothers. We are fighting a system that don't work for either of us. It doesn't work for the Francophone, neither does it work for us. So if he is standing with us to say enough is enough, to me, I count him a brother. And I'll tell you why I count him a brother. I prefer him to the Atanganjis who sits with the president and roll out laws that don't favor them, but they decide to do it because of their own interest. They are not looking at the greater good of Cameroonians, but they are looking at their bank accounts. And to me, I prefer somebody like Combatant Emmanuel Kempta than the Musonges who wine and dine with the wrongs in the society and they pretend like nothing is happening. To me, I prefer somebody who stands with me in my trouble than somebody who claims that it's my brother but sells me for a couple of shillings. So I'm going to start by opening Mr. Kempta to talk to us. We are Southern Cameroonians. He is not from us, but he has stood with us and by us, and he has started fighting for this way back in time. To tell us, he can speak both French and Pidgin because he will try in English, but I don't think his English is great. We should bear with him. He's a brother, and they say you're patient with all your brothers, no matter where they come from, so far as they are with you in the same fight. So, Mr. Kempta, please start with the language that you're comfortable with, but we want both audience to know you and understand you. So please, we have the beast in town. We're fighting to bring this beast down for a long time. Please tell us what made you go to Switzerland and said, I'm going to give Pobia no rest until he leaves. Please tell us.
Merci beaucoup, combattante Gilly.
Yeah.
C'est comme ça que je vais t'appeler désormais. La combattante Gilly, merci pour tout le travail que tu fais. Merci à tous les combattants du Nord-Ouest et du Sud-Ouest. Je vous apprécie, je vous adore. La façon que je vous vois lutter, vraiment, je ne sais pas ce que je veux dire. J'ai dit, je vous adore. Votre combat est juste et honnête. Et je vous dis, don't give up. Don't give up, mes sœurs et frères. Continuez sur la même lancée. Vous êtes du bon côté. Vous êtes du bon côté. Le dictateur Biya, lorsqu'il entend que son pouvoir est un peu attaqué, c'est comme ça qu'il est. Si vous me donnez l'occasion, je vais vous dire, pour vous démontrer que lorsque le pouvoir de Paul Biya est attaqué, il tue, même s'il peut tuer tout le monde. Pour son pouvoir, il fait. Il a fait quand on a lancé le SDF. Il a tué 6 personnes. Quand on a lancé le multipartisme au Cameroun, Biya a vu que son pouvoir était attaqué. Il a tué les Camerounais. Vous avez vu pendant les villes mortes, Biya a tué, il s'en fout. Quand sa femme a dit, monsieur, ça va comme ça, Biya a tué sa femme. Est-ce que vous savez que Paul Biya a tué Jean-Irène Biya? Je le dis aujourd'hui sur cette chaîne de télévision. C'est Paul Biya qui a tué Jean-Irène Biya à cause du pouvoir. Quand son pouvoir est attaqué, il tue tout le monde. On a, en février 2008, quand les enfants sont descendus dans la rue pour dire que on ne veut pas qu'on modifie la Constitution, Paul Biya a vu depuis que son pouvoir est attaqué, il a tué plus de 300 Camerounais, il a tué. C'est ce monsieur qui est, c'est un tueur en série. Paul Biya, c'est un tueur en série. Maintenant, mes frères anglophones se sont levés pour revendiquer la discrimination qui est contre eux depuis 56 ans. Ils ont posé les vrais problèmes. Au lieu de résoudre ces problèmes, Paul Biya a choisi la voie de la guerre. Paul Biya est en train de tuer les anglophones parce que son pouvoir est une fois de plus attaqué. Il faut que les Camerounais sachent. Alors, je profite de cette occasion pour dire, j'entends qu'il y aura élection au Cameroun. Les gens veulent aller à quelle élection? Quand un monsieur qui tue quand son pouvoir est attaqué, vous allez le gagner comme ça. Donc, vraiment, excusez-moi de passer par là. Maintenant, vous me demandez pourquoi est-ce que je vais souvent en Suisse et tout ça. Je vais à Genève tout le temps parce que ce n'est pas possible de voir un pays qui manque de l'eau à boire. Il n'y a pas de l'eau potable à Yaoundé, et ça va à Genève tout le temps. Vous connaissez combien coûte une bouteille de champagne à Genève à l'hôtel intercontinental? C'est 1 500 000 francs. Yes, c'est ça le prix. Oui, c'est ce que les Camerounais ne connaissent pas. C'est 1 500 000 francs. Et cet hôtel-là, bien à le 6e étage. Je dis bien le 6e étage. Tout le 6e étage appartient à Paul Biya. Quand il n'est pas là, l'ascenseur ne s'arrête pas là-bas. Quand il est là, on ouvre le 6e étage. Donc, passons ce qui va descendre là-bas avec tous ces gens. Biya a dépensé des milliards dans cet hôtel. Dernièrement, nous avons eu un rapport de 900 milliards que Biya a dépensé là-bas depuis 35 ans au pouvoir. Alors, comment voulez-vous que je reste à Londres, ici, à Birmingham, tranquille, en voyant Paul Biya qui mène une vie de pacha à Genève? Non, je ne peux pas accepter cela. C'est pour ça que je paye mon transport, je vais à Genève, je le réveille à 6 h du matin. C'est à 6 h du matin que je réveille Paul Biya. Hein. Et c'est comme ça que tous les clients ouvrent les fenêtres. C'est quoi là-bas? J'ai dit, excusez-moi, c'est moi, je suis là. Ce monsieur doit sortir de cet hôtel. Et ce que vous ne savez pas, quand je pars dans cet hôtel, après mon passage, le séjour de Paul Biya est raccourci. Directement, il quitte l'hôtel parce que les gens le regardent mal. J'ai toutes les informations de ce qui se passe dans cet hôtel. Donc, comme il vient à Londres, Biya, welcome. Tu vas nous sentir. Tu vas nous sentir. Avec les gars du Southern Cameroun, tu vas nous sentir. Oui, oui, je demande à tous les Southern Camerounais, sortez en masse. Avec les gars du Code, parce que nous, je suis du Code, nous sommes en train de mobiliser également, nous allons rendre la vie misérable à cet homme-là. Il croit que, non, c'est comme lui fait à Genève, là. Il va voir la sorcellerie à Londres. Nous l'attendons, qu'il vienne. Donc, je dis, concernant les stratégies, je vais vous donner les stratégies au cours de cette émission. Comment je pense qu'on va faire. Bien qu'on ait, il y a certaines de mes stratégies, mais qu'ils sachent que cette fois-ci, on ne va pas tout dévoiler ici. Mais il va se tout sentir. On l'attend de pied ferme. Tous les enfants qui tuent au nord-ouest, au sud-ouest, les grands-mères qui brûlent dans les maisons, bien va payer ça ici à Londres. Ça, qu'il soit ici, il va payer tout ça ici à Londres. Oui, et je dis et je répète, je serai avec le combat de mes frères anglophones chaque jour jusqu'à la gare. Je ne vais pas vous abandonner. Je vous remercie.
Thank you very much. And I think he said it all, that we should all come out in our numbers and we should look for his hotel. We are urging everybody to make the issue of looking for the dictator's hotel a priority. He says we should all come out. All the killings in southern Cameroon should be paid in London. It's our turn. I think we gave him a ride in Switzerland, and all of us are responsible for letting him have an easy ride when he went to Italy. This is our time, and we have to learn from what happened in Italy. He had a free ride. He went into Italy and went back out. It's our turn in London. Everybody should come out. He says they're already mobilizing. We should keep mobilizing. We speak to more people. The same number counts. So we should do this in our numbers. People should come out in mass numbers. That's the only way we can create an impact, the impact that will be lasting. And if I want to start to tell you about mass movements in the world, it started with one person. It started with combatant Kempta Eric some years ago. He took it upon himself to go to Switzerland and destabilize his state. Now it's giving us the courage a few years down the line to know that we can all come out in solidarity and fight for our rights. So please come out in numbers. Let's not let what happened in Italy repeat itself in London, because to me, it tells me that we haven't learned anything. I'm going to go to Mr. Zaman to tell us about the issues of the week. What has been happening in terms of this struggle? Bring us up to date. Is there anything we should learn? Is there something we should look out for in this struggle? I think he will be giving us the weekly bulletin of this struggle.
Well, thank you, Gilly. And I would like to, from what I know so far, this week has been an excellent week for the struggle, particularly for our courageous and indefatigable Amber guys on the ground.
Yeah.
We want to doff our hats to our guys in Lebialem, in Bello, in Mamfe, in Combone, in K-Town. It was just fantastic. And that just tells us that we are a few minutes closer to Boya. Okay. And besides that, we had an excellent week at the United Nations in I think it was in Geneva. Whoever was there, Ambazonia was represented, and the name Ambazonia is going ahead. So I think it was a fantastic week. Yeah. I don't know if you want me to give particular details from the various.
If you don't mind, so we brief people up to date. We want everyone to be in the loop as in what is happening with the struggle.
Okay, so for the people in in Dian, the people in Dian and maybe in Maniguba who are not able to watch, who don't have internet and may not be conversant of what is happening, our people in Lebialem gave La République a ride for their money. Okay. And our red dragons of Lebialem, they were able to meet toe to toe with La République terrorist soldiers, and showed them what they came to do. So our guys in Lebialem, they were just fantastic. They sent a lot of them 6 feet down
Okay.
Which is what we really want. And I want to use this opportunity to thank the Red Dragons of Lebialem.
Okay.
And I would like to call on everybody in the diaspora and anywhere. If you know anybody in Lebialem,
Yeah.
support them either through the IG or through any other self-defense group.
Yeah.
So that they can motivate the guys.
Yeah.
The guys need to have food to eat. They need to have medication, aspirin, or whatever for malaria. That because wherever they are staying, they need some of those things. So let us encourage our guys in Lebialem. They are doing a fantastic job. We can't ask for a better force for our liberation. I know and I'm convinced, having spoken to some of the commanders, they assured me, they said, look, we are going to Boya. I asked them, are you sure? They said, yes, we are going to Boya sooner than later. So that's for Lebialem.
Okay.
For Bello,
the
guys in Bello,
Ginicom,
and Noajwa, they have shown the Republic what they were looking for. And I want to let the people of Ndian, the people of Kupe Maningoba, know that their brothers in Bodo County as a whole, Bodo County as a whole, Bello, Ginicom, and Nyaajwa, that they are doing a fantastic job.
Okay.
From the last thing I heard was that very soon, Boyo is going to be a no-go zone for the Republic.
Okay.
And I have confidence in that. That whoever wants to come, they are welcome to come. I mean, La Republic, so the people of Boyo, they want you to come. Send them to come. They are ready for you. They are ready. Our boys are ready.
Okay.
For any La Republic soldiers to come. And very soon, Boyo is going to be the no-go zone for La Republic soldiers. For our guys in Kumba. Kumba, Kwakwa, and the rest. We had the news that came in was that the economic unit has been activated.
Okay.
The economic self-defense unit, that's how they call them. And what do? They ensure that no timber leaves from Mamfe to La Republique anymore.
Okay.
They are ensuring that no palm oil leaves from Lobe to La Republique.
Okay.
And I'm not going to say what else is going to happen, but our economic self-defense unit has been activated. And in Kumba a couple of days ago, La Republique had tried a different tactic to put drums of oil inside containers, and they were driving it.
Okay.
And the vigilant Ambazonian self-defense forces, they were able to intercept this truck. And they destroyed all the palm oil, and they invited our mothers and fathers in Kumba to come and get some free labor oil.
Okay.
Isn't that wonderful?
It's fantastic.
Those are our resources, and let our parents enjoy it. So the one thing I would like to tell the economic self-defense unit, all across Ambazonia, no timber leaves Ambazonia. Okay. No drop of palm oil leaves Ambazonia. And other things that La Republique is doing, that is using to buy arms to come and kill our innocent parents in Kwakwa or in Kombeni Mission or in Balangi or wherever. So to La Republique, if you want to send your guys, send them. Our economic and self-defense units are ready.
Okay.
And in the next coming weeks, we are going to be just more than ready. Ambazonians, we are going to have this independence.
Okay.
We shouldn't despair. Our strong guys at ground zero have given us the confidence that we can rely on them. And we in the diaspora, we are going to help. We are going to dig our hand in our pockets until it hurts.
Okay.
For us to have our independence.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm sure that is mind-boggling for anybody that thinks that we have not been doing anything. I'm sure by now they've blown away. Yeah, so I wanted us to have somebody come up to the show and tell us what's going in terms of weekly, what is happening, how is the struggle happening on the ground, because we are not on the ground and we have people that have this information who don't share. And because people don't know, they think nothing is happening. And people sit back and start to, I don't know whether it's divide and rule, move from group to group and the build-up story. So we've decided to bring somebody to give us first-hand story of what is going on so we are not distracted over the week. I'm going to be moving to Barrister Day. Barrister Day, I know your whole situation is not as pleasant as combatant Emmanuel Kenta and Mr. Isaac Zaman. Your own is a bit of a murky situation. Your own is a bit of controversy about your name. And you need it cleared, which I think is a good thing. We've come to the point in this struggle where we don't tolerate, and we will not be tolerating, cheap gossips around and manipulation, all in the bid to promote a certain group. All people with any devilish ambition or agenda will be exposed. And I always use this saying that now last time be time. Because once you start, you will see many people claiming to be with you, but the longer you stay with them, you will know truly who they stand for or who they are working for. And if you squint and you look at what they write carefully, you will see who they are supporting. They might be pretending, but we will unveil them as the day goes by. I'm going to start by reading a message that went out there in my name and in Barrister Nday's name. And I didn't think I had these powers, because if I had this power, I'm sure I would have joined combatant Emmanuel, would have kicked Pobia long time ago. But from the saying, I will read what Mark Barretta wrote on his page regarding me and Barrister Nday. I haven't spoken to Barrister Nday, maybe like 6 months. Barrister Nday, how long have we not talked?
Gilly, I think the last time we met was in Munich when we attended the Meet the People tour event.
Yeah.
That was, I think, back in, was it September?
Yeah, so it's quite a while ago that I haven't even spoken to you on the phone. But I'm going to read what Mark Barretta wrote on his wall, insinuating myself and you came up to do this. He said we all should expose soon if this is what we want. Nonsense. This is not Congosa. What Akosan reported there are facts. It is because I have a way of reporting things. I try to be diplomatic. I try not to be so blunt, but I'm losing my own self too. I think we can all expose so that ground zero pick up itself. I am coming to the conclusion that ground zero would need us no more. Yes, they can do it. The rubbish coming from the diaspora in the name of allegiance to group and government is too much. When I saw the UNPO mail yesterday, I was full with rage, and I said to myself, if I go out there and magma would flow. I go out now, magma will flow. I spoke to one of my moms and I expressed my anger with her to calm down. The truth is that Barrister Nday, Belgium interim government head, who is an IG EU representative, went to the UNPO office and said a number of shocking things that I felt like exploding. I felt like entering a boxing ring. Amongst them is that the AGC is an armed group and should not be in the UNPO. That an IG rep will go to the extent of calling another group an armed group because they want to sit in the UNPO is something I can't believe. And I will attack this. This week I'm busy. I would attack this fully and strongly. It is unheard of. I would attack this over the weekend and let magma flow. Enough of this bullshit in this revolution. Nonsense. That and another one in the IG press secretary, Dr. Nick, would sit in SCBC TV and call you MPO a scam and money-making group. Then they now turn around to fight to be part of this same group. UMPO is something I can't believe. I can't believe. The move alone shows how disorganized and discoordinated some members of the IG are. One is calling it a scam. Another is reporting the AGC to be sent off so that they can be part of. Another who calls herself Gilly, that is me, goes on air and says innuendos. And the shocking thing is that UNPO presidency yesterday in the office watched the video of Dr. Nick and they were appalled. You know how these whites are. They were shocked to see a government minister saying all those things about them. It's a lot. It's a lot. But I think I'm going to go to the part where my name was mentioned, because I think Barrister Ndeyo part has been, he signed the message saying this is Mark Barata, so I'm not making it up. I'll just read the part where my name came into it. They said, I said innuendos. I don't know what I said. And they said Gillian Eswa instructed them to do so. And the Skaku Foundation core IG sent David in Belgium to prepare the file for Ambazonia to be kicked out of the UNPO. Unless this is their way, it is their way, Ambazonia must fail. The blood of the Matthias of this revolution will rise first in vengeance against internal wolves before Yaoundé. The screams of Mami Api as fire engulfs her will be the screams of pains that would inflict their lives till Ambazonia is free. They shall know no peace till Penn Terrence and Mancho BBC no peace. They are joking with the blood of our people. This is a gruesome allegations. Very gruesome. Please,
it's really very serious.
Yes, this is very serious. This is no longer a joke. I think we've been taking this thing for a joke. It's no longer a joke. I think I want to start by you, Barrister. I haven't spoken to you for God knows how long. Like you said, I only saw you in September of long time, last year, actually.
Yeah, I think it was August, September of last year. Yes.
Last year.
The last time we met was in Munich.
Yes. So if somebody like Mark Barata,
we have not been spoken to each other.
We haven't spoken on the phone. So I don't know where I came into all of this to speak to you, to go to UNPO or to instruct the government. I didn't know I had that kind of power, Barrister. If I had that kind of power, I won't be using it on AGC. I should use it on Pobia. My problem is Pobia. I don't have issues with AGC.
The truth is that when you see the style in which that message is written, if you get the tone of it, you begin to see a lot of effort that is put therein. Mm-hmm. And this effort is unfortunate.
Yeah.
It is not directed against the target.
Yeah.
It is directed against those who are sacrificing, who are making sure that the struggle moves forward in the right direction.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for me, I have nothing more to say. I think this is for Mark Barata to answer. I think I need Mark Barata on this show to if anyone is watching this show, can you tell Mark Barata I need to interview him on this? Because to me, these are allegations on my name. I haven't spoken to anybody. The only time I found out about UNPO, I contacted the people that I knew that were dealing with it, which was Yerima, who came last week to the show and clarified everything and left. I've not spoken to anybody about it. I move on. For me, this thing come up, you deal with them, you move on. I don't sit back on one topic and be dwelling on it. And so if my name is coming on this, saying that I've instructed the government to instruct you to go and say AGC is an armed struggle, that is false. That's all I can say. It's a big lie, and a big lie from hell. And if they're going to use that to destroy my person, please come with something that is bigger and that is real and that is factual. I have a platform. So if you're going to talk about me, make sure you have your facts right. Don't just run with fake stories, because it's not going to hold. Because I have my mouth and I can talk. I can fight for myself. I've told people many times, if I fight for the rights of others, I certainly do know how to fight for my own rights. So I'm going to leave it there. I'll come back to you to tell me exactly what you've done in terms of UNPO, because you called me up and told me that and sent me this message about the allegations, but you told me you had gone to the UNPO. So I'll catch up with you on that. What have you done in UNPO? Why were you there? And how far are we in terms of the UNPO? I think this, for me, this talk that Mark Barata wrote, I'm going to square with him, because anything I do for this struggle, I do it for the betterment of the struggle. And I think if he has a platform like the one that he has, I respect his platform, but he should rather use it to promote the struggle rather than promote divide. If he's decided to support AGC, and AGC is where he pays his allegiance, that is fine. He's entitled to. But he should not use me in the beat to make friends with AGC. I'm going to move it along. I'm going to come to you, Mr. Kempta. Please tell us about the president. They call him, some say the president. You said to me he's not a president of anybody. He's a beast.
I don't recognize him since 1982 when he lost election.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Mr. Combatant Kempta Emmanuel has said Paul Biya is not his president, and we share in that view. Please, Paul Biya is coming. Talk to our people in Pidgin. If you know how to speak Pidgin, talk to our people in Pidgin how we will make this man's life unbearable in London.
I beg my people them. I want to say, una de United Kingdom. You want the way they everyday Ireland, because I don't get some people that they tell me say they come. I beg make una come. Glasgow, Manchester, Liverpool, una come all. Southampton, make una come down. Make una come, make we make miserable life for Biya for London. First of all, we get for know the hotel where Biya go sleep there. That hotel, we go sleep for that hotel every day. And then when the one go that meeting for Commonwealth, we did go with you. So we go sleep for there all night.
Yeah.
Morning time go meet we for there. And we not go early sleep. We will not go sleep. It will not go sleep, because we go get we whistle. We go already blow whistle. We did not pan them, not everything. We go make noise. When I know say police for this country, he not go do nothing. He go always say make una stand aside. We go stand aside, but we go make noise for the way Biya no go even sleep. Sef. I think say he go find way for go back for Yaoundé. Even that meeting where he can do, I don't think say he go do himself. So now, all my brother them for Southern Cameroonian, all my sister them for Southern Cameroon, make sure say we go be for that hotel. After hotel, we there for place where meeting go hold. We there too. We make noise for that hotel. So everywhere where Biya go, and something the way I want them una to make una prepare tomato too, because we not do this thing with tomato no day. Rotten tomato and rotten eggs. Make una prepare everything. Because we go try for a motor now.
Okay.
Yes. We go throw tomato for a motor. To wear rotten egg for a motor, na legal thing. It no go do nothing for we. Make una not fear, nothing no go happen.
Okay.
That's what we do for Biya 2004 for this country. Nothing no happen for we. Okay. So make una be prepared. Make any man come with a rotten tomato, rotten eggs and everything. Because we go wash the motor with the rotten tomatoes there. I bet. Make una come, make we make this man know say all that people the way they kill him for Southern Cameroon.
Yes.
He go pay him for year.
Correct. Correct. Okay. I'm going to ask Mr. Zaman. There is a question for you from Mr. Biko Khan. He said, can you please answer this question? Does the IG has a defense force on ground zero? Mr. Zaman, I think his thing is freezed. Yeah, can you hear me? Mr. Zaman.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
I think we can barely hear you.
I can hear you.
Yes, okay. The question I was going to ask you is come from someone on Facebook. It's called, I can't hear you. I think you need to drop out and then join back.
I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can't hear you. I think we're losing you somehow.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can bet. Yes, I think
Okay.
Can you hear? Yes, I think your voice is coming back clear now.
Okay.
Yes, hello. Hello. Yes, anyway, I'm going to continue by saying once he comes back on, I'm going to ask him the question. And this came from combatant Emmanuel Kenta. He said we should not be scared, we should be bold, proud, come out in numbers. We are allowed to throw tomatoes if you want. I've seen them throw presidents in America flour. If you throw flour on his head, his whole suit will be destroyed. So I think we should be planning things like that. He said they've done it in the UK. I think this is not the first time that the dictator is in town. He was here in 2004, and they did throw tomato on his car. So the time has come where it's our turn to join. We are urging people in Europe. I don't know how far Europe is planning, but I think that people that can travel and make it to the UK should make it to the UK, because this is an important event. And for people that don't know, the communication secretary will be in London, and he is coming for this event alone. So there will be a press briefing in London to ensure that we counter anything that Pobia is saying. We have to make sure that our presence is felt. We're not going to take no for an answer. We're going to be imposing ourselves everywhere and anywhere that he's found or that he's going to. And he's going to be no peace, literally. Or he has the space in Cameroon to do whatever. It's our time. Let's use our time judiciously. So people should come out in their numbers, so we make sure this is felt around the world, so that anywhere that he thinks of going in the world, this situation should be in people's mind. They should be in their subconscious thinking that if anywhere you allow Pobia, you allow trouble. I think that is the message we need to sound clear. I'm going to come to Barrister Ande. Please, you told me that you went to UNPO. Can you tell us what you went there to do? Because somehow you've been accused and linked to me. I didn't even know that you went to UNPO. Please, my brother, tell us, why did you go to UNPO?
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Before I make that clarification,
yeah,
I would want to go in the same line that you went to defend yourself.
Yeah.
I will tell you that this information purported to have been reported by Margarita is false.
Okay.
And it is just cheap blackmail.
Okay.
And I think it says everything about this struggle. People have taken upon themselves to be propagating this type of false information on social media,
Yeah.
attacking others on social media.
Yeah.
What I want to say is that we should be careful with the type of information that people pass out in the name of being bloggers or journalists, because that information is not treated in the proper manner in which a professional should treat the information.
Okay.
Immediately I got that information, a member of our ESCO in Belgium sent this information to me, and I saw that it was signed by Margareta.
Okay.
And immediately I went to his page. I didn't find that information there.
Okay.
So that raises a question. This is vital information that is burning you, killing you, and you don't put it on your wall.
Okay.
Where did you send the information? Question mark. However, I reached out to him and I called him. He did not pick.
Okay.
And let me tell you that it is not the first time I'm calling him. He's not picking.
Okay.
And later on, somebody called me to tell me that he complained that he never received any call from me.
Okay.
And I endeavored to call again.
Mm-hmm.
The second time, he did not pick. And about an hour later, he called me. And when he called me, I told him, Margareta, you know the information you wrote against me is false.
Yeah.
And I want that information corrected.
Mm-hmm.
Please, can you go ahead and correct the information that you posted against me? And he told me he was going to work. After work, he was going to call me and clarify the situation.
Okay.
And I've been waiting for that till today. I've not heard
anything.
And another thing he told me was that, well, he wrote that information, that emotions.
Okay.
So we assume that it is information that was. But what have you done thereafter?
Yeah.
To counter the follow-up of that information that was being propagated on social media.
Yeah.
Because we discovered that a group of persons in Belgium had been using that information, and they went as far as posting my picture.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh,
they went to my profile, got the picture there.
Oh.
Downloaded it, posted under that information, started commenting, sending me death threats.
Oh.
So as we are talking, my life is at stake. And these persons, we know them. So if anything should happen to me or to any member of my family, you should understand the magnitude
of the problem, yes.
Of the problem. So there are a number of considerations that I want to give it to this problem.
Okay.
But I am waiting because it is serious. It is more serious than you think, that you present here.
Okay.
And I am saying this because it is not the first time.
Okay.
Barely a week before that incident, an article was written in Belgium, posted on social media, and signed my name under it. And the person who wrote that article was the person who posted it. And he claimed that he got the article from another phone and brought it into Belgium. So I want to tell you that I've been subject to all these cheap blackmails. This is not the first time. And of course, the intention behind this is to prevent me from focusing and doing the right things. But I will tell you that they cannot deter me.
Okay.
They cannot discourage me. I will continue to be focused. I will continue to work to move the struggle forward.
Yeah.
First of all, they thought that it has to be only their own way and not the person's way. So I want to use this opportunity to say that, make the following clarifications.
Yeah.
I have no problem with anybody.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to do what I'm supposed to do with the highest level of fairness, of understanding.
Yeah.
And I just want to accommodate all the opinion, all the groups that are functioning around. That is what I've been striving to do, which so far, this time I will use we have succeeded in doing this in Belgium. And it scares these people because they thought that we will be there just for a brief period. For the way we are working, people are bored. And I want to say that they think they can discourage us from moving forward with this. But now, coming back to you.
Yeah.
I would want to say that it is not the first time that I've come to the UNP. I mean, the UNP is a public office. Anybody can go there.
Okay.
It's open to the public.
Yeah, I even said in my show last week, I said anybody can go to these places and
go there. You can go find out for yourself.
They're everywhere. Nobody is hiding any information.
Nobody is hiding any information. And the first time I went to that office was in 2000, as back as 2008.
Yeah. With
Dr. Fongala 4.
Okay.
We went there, two of us, under the SCNC. And by then, Southern Cameroon was already admitted into the UNPO. And I think the first admission dates back as 2004, if I'm not mistaken, 2004. Yeah. So we today, when this issue came to the limelight, I made some clarification on social media wherein I stated that let's not take this as if it has taken us to Boya. The admission of Southern Cameroon in the UNPO has not taken us to Boya.
Yeah.
It should not make as if we have suddenly found a solution. Boya. That is the first point. The second point is that those who are coming up today who do not know the UNPO will think that a victory, a great victory, has been registered. You know, this is not the case. We have been in the UNPO for a very, very long time.
Okay.
And it is not because we are going there today that we think that
it's some achievement.
It is a wonderful achievement. To me, I will not want to say it's a non-event because at least some effort was made to get us there. Okay. And I want to appreciate those who had worked for us to get back, because they say admission, I would say reinstatement.
Okay.
To the UNPO. And because no effort should be condemned, no effort should be spared, I want to give them that credit for doing that. But the problem now is rather with the presentation and the way in which it was done.
Okay.
That is where I come in, because this is something we were considering in Belgium. Remember, the UNPO is just by our offices in Belgium. So we had mandated a team to go there, go and find out how we could be reinstated in the UNPO. You will remember that as far back as August 2017, we participated in the UNPO tournament in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
We were already there.
Yes. That
in that tournament. If we were not there, how did we participate in that tournament under the UNPO? So my problem is to dispel this misrepresentation, because it deceives those who don't know.
Yes.
Let's learn to speak the truth, especially when we want to play the role of educators of those who are not aware of history, of facts.
Exactly.
We were in the UNPO since 2004. This should be clarified. And I wrote it when I made my clarification in the first statement I published after that. And we were suspended because Belgium could no longer meet the bills. And this time around, we are only being reinstated. We were just asked to pay an application fee, not even the yearly dues, which should be 2,500, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, to $3,000.
So our admission really is no added value because we have been there. We have been functioning under the UNPO. So
I just want to make something clear before you say.
The second part of the question will be, why did I go there?
Yes, I'll ask you that as we go. I don't want us to dwell on this the whole time. We have different guests talking about different things. And for me, it's important. I'm not ignoring what you're saying, Baristande. I think for me, this is very important to you, as well as it's important to me because somehow my name was brought in it, something I didn't know anything. And for me, the way I work, and for people that know me, is if I hear something being said over and over again, and I feel it's not true, I don't go around and try to debunk it because I know it will never work. I look for people that have been part of it, that knows more about it than me, to come and tell it as it is. I don't care from which camp they support or who, but I think for me it's about delivering the information that is right. And that is what I did last week. I found out who was involved in this, and I brought Yerima, who was very clear and explicit about this UNPA stuff. He even had videos and pictures. He's even sent me some of the pictures that they went to UNPO way back with Fongalanfo. It was under the NCNC, and then they could not pay their bills. That's how they dropped off. We were only asked to pay $1,000. Normally it's $3,000 yearly fee. So the AGC is trying to make it their business. The AGC is not in competition with the government. I'll make that very clear. The AGC is a group, and we have a government. We cannot join the two. We cannot try and compare the two because they have nothing to compare. You cannot take the government that represents the people and you take a group that stands on itself with maybe 10 members or maybe 12. They can add themselves and be 50 to make competition. To me, it doesn't work. And if we work from that basis that we have a government, we will not even pay attention to groups. And for me, it is important that I make this very clear because the government is not perfect. I have to start by saying that. The government has its flaws. It has people there that are not as good as the AGCs, or maybe as some of the members in the AGCs. They have their own flaws, but it is all we have. We don't have nothing else. We don't have the AGCs, doesn't represent us. The AGC represents its members. The government represents the people of Ambazonia. I think we are getting it twisted. That's why it's called the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. That's what the government stands for. And the AG's Ambazonia Governing Council is some group of people that have come together and formed their group. They are allowed to, but they do not represent us. And they are not in competition with us. We work together for the greater good of the people. And if they are in competition with us, they go nowhere. That's what I am going to say. I'm very clear. Because I think we are getting this thing twisted, that AGC is the government. It is not. It is a group made up of people. While the government represents all of us, including the AGC. Whether they love to be represented or not, these are the government that's in place right now. When they overthrow the government and bring someone else, then we will, if they want to respect it or not, it's up to them. But we only have the government. If Boya is where we are going to, if we are going to somewhere else, then fine. But if we are going to Boya, we only have one government made with, is incorporated with people that has flaws. But we work to make it grow and stand. We don't work to destroy it. To me, I look at the government as a baby, like your first child. You whip with one hand and you pull with the other hand closer. You don't whip with one hand and you throw them out. Because when you throw that child out and anything happens, you're fatherless or you're motherless. So that's how I look at the government. It has its flaws. I whip it with one hand the things that maybe Nick Santos said, some of the things, I'll be honest to say, I don't agree with some of the things he said about the UNPO, but what can I do? I can't kill him. I can only say he made a mistake. And how do I fix it? We talk together and we pull him together. We bring back the government and we keep it moving. Boya is our destination. And to me, these threats on people's lives, what do you intend to do about the threats? I think for me, that's important because people are breaking the laws. To me, I've said whatever we do in this struggle, we try and do it within the confines of the law. That's why we go and look at Resolution 1608 of the UN. We go and look at the Banjul case in Gambia. That's why we go back and look at the laws. We try and maintain our name because we know that within the law, it makes sense. We don't go outside the law. But what I've seen in social media is people are breaking the law a lot. And I've told a few people that I personally, if they continue in the line that I will file a lawsuit against them. For me, it's not about being a Cameroonian or being a Southern Cameroonian or being in the struggle. For me, there is something about the law. Everyone must respect it. And if we are moving to a country, we should be law abiding. I don't know. What do you intend to do with this allegation? Because I think if they're threatening your life, I think you should report it. What are you saying?
I think I know how to orientate the matter, and I will not make it public here. They know what is awaiting them. So
okay,
they certainly know. They should. I'm preparing, and I'm going to take the bull by the horns. The second thing I want to say that it is unfortunate that we have to spend this vital time.
Yeah.
Instead of talking about. Policies, we hear debunking blackmail, cheap blackmails. It's unfortunate. I want to say that we in Belgium, we took the initiative in Europe to organize the Brussels Congress. Mm-hmm. And our intention of organizing that Congress was to forge unity in this struggle. Mm-hmm. And the AGC is a group like any other group, like many groups that we got.
Like my own
and
group.
You understand, after the process, there was that clamor for a united body to be created.
Yeah.
And we can understand all the processes that we went through to reach with the government. And we will say that this government is the greatest thing that has happened to this struggle. And for people to go out and present it that way is really unfortunate. It means that maybe most of them don't even understand what they are doing. Because this is a government that has just been formed. It has not yet taken off. And government's action should be evaluated within a period of time. And some people are giving it 5 years. Any government's action should be evaluated after 5 years.
Yes, and that's why even in Britain, you have a term of 4 years and then they re-elect, and then they evaluate, they ask you, what have you done so far since you've been in office?
They presented me as a member of government, and I want to tell them I'm not a member of government, but I'm supporting that government because it is the greatest thing that has happened to this struggle. Our people on the ground, they were clamoring for this government to be put in place, and the government is there. What are we doing to make sure that that government delivers, that government takes us to destination? Is it by doing this type of distorted reporting? Today, during the day, we report here, at night, we report there. It's rather unfortunate. We think that Southern Cameroon merits better in this struggle because people are giving in so much, a lot of sacrifices. Our people on the ground are suffering, they are sacrificing, and people are here on social media attacking others, sending death threats, misdirecting their bullets.
Yes.
I don't want to, there are a lot to be said on this. I don't want to, you see, my policy is, I'm not used to debunking these blackmails here.
Yeah.
People here in Belgium know me for that. They do that on a daily basis, and I never react. The point this time is that they have taken it to threaten my life and that of my family. That's the issue. And if anything should happen, they should be held accountable.
Yes, I think for me that one as well is important for me. I've seen many people, combatant Emmanuel Kempta, I've seen your name somewhere in a group, and they are happy with you from the UK. The group is saying that you have advised them not to give no breathing space to the dictator in London, and they are working on that. So they've gone to work to try and locate the hotel and try to have some tomatoes and some flour, and they're rethinking their whole process because they had planned to do demonstration from yesterday all through, but they're going back to rethink that plan to see, rather than them demonstrating, they rather disturb the hotel. So I think that was a good advice, and they're working on it already. So I just thought I tell you that. I'm coming back to you. There's a question for you, Mr. Zaman, that asks that does the IG has a defense force on ground zero?
Thanks, Gilly, for that question, and thanks to the viewer for that question.
Yeah.
I am not a spokesperson for the IG.
Okay.
I am an Ambazonian who supports the struggle.
Okay.
What I know is that the IG has put together a coalition of our self-defense forces who are working on the ground. Okay. And the goal of the they call it the ASC, is to coordinate all the defense forces on the ground. And the reason is simple.
Yeah.
The person in Boyo should know what the person in Libelem is doing.
Okay.
The group in Libelem should know what the group in Kumba or Mante or Ndian are doing. That just eases coordination. And so that is what I know, and that is what our interim president Sako is pushing through with my trip to Boya.
Okay.
Besides that, other people are supporting the different groups, on the ground, either through the AGC or either through ARA, wherever you are comfortable, Ambazonians, to give your support. That will take us to Boya. That is what is important. But the bottom line is we have a government which has put together the ASC to coordinate. I think that's a laudable thing that they have done, and everybody should support that. I'm not saying that what they have done is perfect. It could need some improvements, but I believe, or I see that it has a goal, and the goal is Boya. So I'm appealing on all Ambazonians, particularly those in the diaspora, that we should be focused and put our eyes to the prize, which is Boya, and fund either AGC, fund the IG, or any other group. As long as the goal is Boya, I am totally 100% for it.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'll come back to you to give us what happened in Belo and what people should look out for, because I know you have something in mind in terms of ground zero and what the people should know for the week and how they should plan to cover themselves and cover the area. I'm going to come to Mr. Kempta. You can talk again in Pidgin if you want. So your plan is being worked on right now in the UK on ways to hold down Pobia and make sure no peace for him. He has nowhere he hides. What would you advise the boys that are thinking now to plan? How do they plan this? They leave, like you said, 6 o'clock. I know you mentioned that they should be there 6 o'clock in the morning. Some should bring mattress. Should some sleep there? Should some come and go? Should they do shifts? Or how do they do it? How should we do it?
Yeah, I think it depends. They can do shifts. That means they can do shifts. Yeah, it's possible. That means one group can say, okay, we're going to sleep here today, as we did last time in the Cameroon embassy. Yeah, you know what, Ivo and the others, they did. We just do the same thing, and this will work. And then you just said we can leave some people where the meeting gonna take place. We can leave some people there.
Okay.
We just need to communicate. One group in the hotel, we control the dictator movement and everything. We stay there with him.
Yeah.
And then one group in where the meeting is going to hold. And then we just communicate. When he's moving, one group is prepared with the tomatoes and the eggs and everything. Yeah. We just put damage all this thing on the car, I don't know what the Mercedes where it's gonna be. We put the tomato there, and then that's the way we're gonna give him a big shame. Okay. Yeah, you know what I mean, a big shame. So that is the way. That is my plan. Okay. And I want to say something. You know, this struggle where they inside because me too are they inside the struggle. I know they see when you talk say Emmanuel Kenta, combatant, are they inside that struggle? Now my struggle too. Because when this struggle start, people then say now I'm glad because many of francophones they come in this struggle, they say that anglophone they get is all raison. Yes. Now if Bia want make him a referendum now, make him a referendum for this matter, you go see. You go see the result. You go see 80% of more than 80% of francophones they support this struggle. So now I'm very happy because our brothers for French people, the French speaking, they are listening now for the problem. Yeah. But the thing where I'm not glad now say my brother them from Central Province, I mean the Betty people, make them not say this struggle now against them. I want to take this occasion for them and say le combat anglophone n'est pas contre les Betty. Non. Depuis que les anglophones ont commencé ce combat, est-ce qu'ils ont arrêté, est-ce qu'ils ont prononcé le nom de quelqu'un? Ils n'ont jamais dit que les Betty ont fait ceci, non. Non. Mais ce n'est pas de leur faute. Il y a une télévision là au Cameroun, que nous on appelle la télévision 1000 collines. C'est cette télévision, c'est cette télévision 1000 collines qui crée tous ces problèmes. Cette télévision a même appelé qu'on arrête les anglophones à Yaoundé. Et attention, ça c'est très grave. Mais on ne les a rien fait. Et tout ça fait que c'est comme si les anglophones sont pas contre les bêtises. Les anglophones n'ont aucun problème contre les bêtises. Mais frère Betty, ne tombez pas dans le piège des Bia. Bia a détruit ce pays. Il y a les Bamlékés dedans. Il y a les anglophones. La Tangan dit comme ça. Mais ça, c'est sa femme. La Tangan n'est pas la femme de Paul Bia. Et s'il est Betty, il est anglophone, mais c'est sa femme. Après, j'entends bien. La deuxième femme de Paul Bia, c'est Atanganji. Donc, ne tombez pas dans ces pièges, mes frères Betty. Non. Les anglophones n'ont aucun problème avec les Betty. Les anglophones ont posé un problème net et clair. Tout le monde voit. C'est le seul peuple au monde. Il n'y a pas eu un autre peuple qui est tolérant comme le peuple anglophone. Ils ont attendu ça 57 ans. Ils ont été marginalisés pendant plus de 57 ans. Mais aucun peuple au monde n'a supporté cela. Mais comment vous pouvez imaginer que jusqu'à aujourd'hui, il n'y a pas une route qui quitte de Bamenda à Boya? Vous pouvez accepter ça? Il n'y a pas de route qui quitte Bamenda à Boya. Oh, tous les départements, les chefs de province sont reliés par les goudrons, par les routes goudronnées, sauf le nord-ouest et le sud-ouest. Mais attendez, vous ne pouvez pas marginaliser un peuple jusqu'à ces points-là. Ce n'est pas possible. Aucun peuple au monde, entré dans l'histoire, vous dites quel peuple a supporté ce genre de marginalisation. Donc les gars ont dit enough is enough, trop c'est trop. Donc, ce n'est pas contre un tribu, ce n'est pas contre les bêtises. Ces gars ont raison et nous avons le devoir de les supporter, de les soutenir. Et il y a une chose que je n'aime pas souvent entendre. Nous aussi, on n'a pas de routes chez nous. Non. Nous n'avons pas les mêmes problèmes. Les anglophones, c'est un peuple qui avait eu le choix entre être avec la République du Cameroun ou être avec la République du Nigeria. Mais est-ce que les autres, est-ce que la République du Cameroun a eu un choix? La République du Cameroun existe depuis. Donc, il n'est pas dit que nous avons les mêmes problèmes. Non, on n'a pas les mêmes problèmes.
Non, on n'a pas.
Ils sont entrés dans une union où ils ont été trompés. Et comme ils ont été trompés, ils ont supporté durant 56 ans, croyant que ça va changer, mais ça n'a pas changé, mais ça devenait de plus en plus grave. Les gars ont dit non, c'est normal. On ne peut pas supporter cela. Ce n'est pas possible que tous les temps on appelle les gens Bamenda, Anglo, tout ça. C'est comment vous pouvez pas supporter une telle marginalisation? C'est pas possible. Soyons quand même honnêtes. Nous les francophones, soyons honnêtes. Comment vous pouvez dire que vous partez envoyer les professeurs francophones pour aller enseigner le français là-bas, l'anglais, alors qu'ils ne parlent pas l'anglais dans la zone anglophone? Ce n'est pas possible quand même. Acceptons. Bon, ok, si on envoie un professeur anglophone venir enseigner le français aux francophones, alors qu'il ne sait même pas parler français, vous allez accepter. Est-ce qu'on peut aussi accepter des choses comme ça? Soyons quand même honnêtes. Vraiment, c'est pour ça que j'ai dit, we go up, we come down. C'est vrai qu'avec dans ce combat-là, car vous avez raison, et nous allons mener ce combat jusqu'au bout. Bia, ton départ, c'est cette année. Et je te rappelle que tu es disqualifié déjà. Hein? Tu ne peux plus régler ce problème. Il faut oublier. C'est que tu parles, on n'est plus sur dialogue. Maintenant, nous parlons de négociations. Tu es en retard.
Ouais.
Nous ne parlons plus de dialogue. C'est fini depuis. On parle maintenant de la négociation. Et cette négociation-là ne va plus se passer au Cameroun. Ça sera ailleurs. Et devant, mais bien sûr, devant une personne neutre, une troisième personne qui sera là. C'est plus les affaires que tu avais fait en Fumbala avec Aïdjo. C'est fini ça. Ça ne va plus se répéter. Maintenant là, c'est la négociation. C'est là où nous sommes. Mais vraiment bien, tu vas me faire que je ris. Hein? Je me rappelle déjà, Michel, tu vas me faire que je ris. Il est question de négocier désormais. Ouais. Tu as déclaré la guerre alors que les gars n'ont jamais pris les armes contre nos forces armées. Jamais. Les anglophones, le 22 septembre 2017, ils sont descendus dans les rues sans les armes. Ils disaient seulement peace, no violence, no violence. Nous avons encore les vidéos. Ouais. Le 1er octobre, la même chose. Ouais. No violence, no violence. Mais bien, c'est toi qui es parti les tuer. Tu es parti kidnapper les leaders anglophones au Nigeria. Maintenant, c'est toi qui as appris aux anglophones à faire tout ce qui se passe. Kidnapper, Nayou. Killing, Nayou. You don't do them. Now, les gars ne peuvent plus accepter qu'on les tue. Ils se défendent et toi, tu te plains pourquoi? Non, mais on ne peut. Mais les gars doivent se défendre. Ouais. Ils ont fait tout depuis. Ils ne touchent personne. Ils n'ont tué personne. C'est toi qui es venu les kidnapper. C'est toi qui es venu les tuer. C'est toi qui es venu les violer. C'est toi qui es parti violer les étudiants à l'université de Boya. C'est toi qui as tout fait. Les gars sont restés tranquilles. Maintenant, tu veux que tu fasses du coup la bombe, tu les tues, ils regardent comme ça. Non, ils ont le droit de se défendre. Ouais. Et je dis, vous avez raison de vous défendre. Et parce que vous avez le droit de vous défendre, nous les francophones, nous sommes en train de venir derrière vous pour qu'on en finisse avec ce régime dictatorial-là et qu'on dégage ce diable qui a pourri ce pays depuis plus de 37 ans aujourd'hui au pouvoir. Vraiment, je vous dis chapeau et merci beaucoup pour tout ce que vous faites. Et les francophones, nous sommes en train de mobiliser pour jouer dans ce combat.
Oh, merci, moi aussi, mon frère. Yes, so we're coming back. He said a lot of things, and I think many people know. He said he thanks us for doing all the things we do. He thinks we've been saying peace, peace, peace all along. Peace on the 22nd, peace on the 1st. They never understood peace, so they thought killing and doing us anything because we've never done anything. They think we are still the same people. They say when you push somebody too far to the wall and you reach a point where you cannot turn, it will only come a point where you only turn and fight back. And I think we've come to that point where we are fighting back. Nothing is going to stop us. The only good thing he said is the francophones are mobilizing and are going to be joining us to fight this fight to the end. They are with us and they know what we are going through, and he wants them to look into their conscience and see that the truth is there. We're not the same country. We might have the same issues, no roads, no education, no good education system, nothing, but we are different people with different cultures and different history, but we have common problems. But that doesn't make us one. It makes us different. And if he thinks we are going to negotiate, we've gone past dialogue. We are now at the phase of negotiation, and we negotiate to leave. We are negotiating to leave the country and not to stay with them and be good neighbors. And we are still giving them time to negotiate to be good neighbors. If that time passes, then we'll probably leave without us talking to each other. So I think that's why I brought him, because I think for some time, I don't know whether I did a good thing. I want somebody like Mr. Isaac, tell me. I came to the conclusion that we needed somebody from a different let's say him from a neighboring country to come and tell us and talk to his people about our struggle. I think since we started, we've been talking to ourselves for a long time, that we needed someone else to hear our plight. That's why I thought Combatant Emmanuel would be a great guy to come on. And this week where the beast is in town and he has been fighting the beast forever. Please tell me, was it a great idea?
It couldn't have been. It couldn't have been. It couldn't have come at a better time. Thank you, Comrade Emmanuel, for all you do and the encouragement that you are trying to tell the people of La République du Cameroon that the Ambazonian struggle is it's a struggle that is based on truth, is based on fact, and that no nation on earth is built on a foundation of falsehood. Yeah. Because why do I say that? There is no treaty of union between Ahidjo and Foncha. Yeah. So telling us that there's that we are one is false. Yeah. And secondly, the referendum of May 1972, which had two options of we and yes, is false. So telling the world that we had a referendum in 1972, relinquishing the federation into a unitary state is false. So any country in the world that builds its foundation on falsehood cannot work. And that is why this thing has not worked for 57 years. So it's a wonderful thing that Comrade Kemfak is here. And, what I would tell Comrade Kemfak is keep on educating some of the people who refuse to read and who refuse to learn our history. The good thing about the Ambazonian struggle is that a lot of Francophones, whether they like it or not, are forced to learn certain histories. And we had people like Governor Aboima Choi, who came and actually described the history of the relationship between Ambazonia and La République from the perspective of an actor who was there when they were doing all these things with Ahidjo and Bia and his role as governor and as a minister and all that. So this struggle has actually edified lots of people, and we need people like Comrade Kemfak, to assist us, because once Ambazonia gains independence, the Francophones are going to be free as well, because now you would see what we have done, you will see the strategies that we used, and you use it to extricate yourself, to have your independence, because the people of La République, you people are not free. You are still in chains. Yeah, we are not any different than we were in 1959 or in 1958. Yeah. The only difference is that you don't have white men in Yaoundé who are controlling, but these white men are controlling Paul Biya and his coterie in Yaoundé through a remote control. That is what it is. And so we hope that the people of La République are studying, are noticing, are watching what Ambazonians are doing to free themselves, so that you people can free yourselves as well. As an Ambazonian, I think I would like that. Oh, we are condemned to live together, and I hope that my people can sell their potatoes to the people in La République, or we can sell our timber to the people in La République. So I believe there is a necessity for us to work together in one way or another, for your independence and for ours. But let me remind all people in La République, Ambazonians are not going to stop. We are going to have our independence. Whether the people in La République, they want to open their eyes and see and feel themselves or not, we are not stopping. Thank you, Gilly.
Thank you very much. I think you've sounded that clear enough. And I think we've come this far. We're not going to back down. And I'm going to come on this topic, and I'm going to come back to Baristande. I don't want to be like we're insensitive as a people. And I'm going to just recap a little bit back on the events that have led to all this blackmail and sabotage and threats that we keep ignoring it, but I think is growing to be a problem in the house that it needs all of us to address it. I will start when it started between the problems of the AGC and Dr. Success about money issue. We heard the audios back and forth. They started removing people's girlfriends' pictures and putting it on Facebook. It sounded funny, but it's not a joke. And it landed them to the point where I've heard another audio from Dr. Success saying that the ban the director of the AGC or the commander-in-chief of the AGC never to enter Nigeria because of that allegations. So it's something that is growing, and people keep saying that we shouldn't talk about Kongosa on Facebook, or we shouldn't talk about differences on Facebook. This is an issue that is slowly taking our people down. We heard another audio, I think a weeks back, about somebody saying that the AGC leader has paid people to come and kill him. It sounded funny on the audio, and we laughed about it. We are hearing you now saying that they're threatening your life. This is no longer coincidence. There is a pattern going on here. And I think that is something that it takes all of us to fight this. As we are vying for our freedom, we should be also fighting things like this in our midst, because we don't want to be in South Sudan's position anywhere, anytime soon. We are very educated people, and we should be able to put these things together. To me, once it starts and we start to live it, it grows. And it grows to the point where it will be uncontrollable. We will start to fight ourselves. We will leave the goalpost and start fighting ourselves. Or we start reporting ourselves. Or we start to target ourselves. We leave the enemy standing free on holidays. And I think that this is something that we all need to be responsible and search into our conscience if that's how we want this revolution to go. Do we want others to be threatening others? Is it because they haven't threatened you that you think it is okay for someone else to be threatened? Is it because it's not yet on your doorstep? I don't think we should accept it. And I want someone else to talk about it. I don't want to be the one talking about this. I'm going to come back to you, Baristande. I'm going to go to Mr. Combatant Emmanuel Kempta. Is this right that groups are starting to threaten people and threaten their families in a struggle like ours? I want you, a neutral person, to talk about this.
Je pense que c'est ce qu'il faut beaucoup éviter dans ce combat.
Ouais.
Il faut éviter la démagogie. Il faut éviter de soupçonner les gens inutilement dans ce combat. Je pense que ça, c'est le travail de l'ennemi.
Ouais.
Vous savez, le dictateur Biya, face à ce problème anglophone, est dépassé par les événements. Il ne contrôle plus rien. La seule chose qu'il peut faire maintenant, c'est d'essayer d'infiltrer des gens pour lancer des mauvais mots, c'est-à-dire que des combats internes entre vous. C'est-à-dire qu'il dit, tel a fait ceci, tel a fait cela, et puis on se cogne les têtes. Comme ça, on le laisse un peu tranquille. Non, c'est faux. Ne tombez pas dans ce piège, je vous en prie.
Ouais.
Je suis tout ce qui se passe. Ne tombons pas dans ce jeu. Ça, c'est un jeu que le pouvoir amène parmi nous. Ce n'est pas bon. Si on va se distraire, on va le laisser se balader et surtout, les gens qui sont au grand zéro là, pardon, laissez ces gens tranquilles dans tout ce qu'on fait là. Parce que c'est eux qui supportent toutes les charges. C'est eux qui encaissent les boulettes. C'est eux qui encaissent tout, les tueries, tout. Pardon, en faisant ce qu'on fait là, pensons à ces gens-là. Parce que le vrai combat, c'est ce qu'ils sont en train de faire. C'est vrai que la diaspora du Southern Cameroun fait un travail formidable. Vraiment, ce que vous faites est formidable. C'est fantastique. Vraiment, je vous dis grand merci. Le travail est fantastique. Maintenant, ne tombons pas dans le piège de ce que je viens de vous dire là, le Congo, ça là, ne tombons pas dedans. C'est ça que le pouvoir veut nous jeter dedans là, et puis pour essayer de nous distraire. Donc, en faisant tout ça, avec, mais vous think about people that were the grand zero. Mais vous think about Mencho BBC, where he does for Konengide, where I don't know what he do. Because those zero, they know the catch you put up for prison.
Yeah.
I bet. Make you think about all those people before you want to enter this Congo way at the year. So I bet on a plenty.
Okay. I think I'm quickly on to you, Mr. Zaman. What do you think? Because this thing for me is no longer one episode. We've had 3 and we don't want it to keep growing. We wouldn't want it to die.
Yes, yes, I would appeal to all Ambazonians, particularly those in the diaspora, not to take their eyes off the ball.
Yeah.
Our goal, our destination is Boya. Everything else should be, it's a distraction, and we shouldn't let our individual allegiances or emotions overrule our sense of reason.
Yeah.
So please, Ambazonians in the diaspora, let us focus and help our people, our people on ground zero, our mothers who are sleeping in the bushes. You're fighting with somebody on Facebook. Are you thinking about the people who are in Kombone? Are you thinking about the people who are in Koroku, in Batibo, who have been sleeping in the bushes for the past 4 weeks? They don't have anything to eat. We have mothers who are giving birth to children in the bush, and we are here in the diaspora sleeping in good houses and going to work. And then all we care about is trying to say X, Y, or Z is saying this or that. How does that take us to Boya? So the way I see it and the way my focus is I'm not going to be involved in all this kind of kungusa and all that. I find it despicable, but let's appeal to our people to focus on Boya, because that is what is important. We cannot afford to let ourselves be distracted. I wouldn't go as far as saying that there's any Ambazonian that I know. I would suspect that once that he's being bought by beer. Those who are doing orders, I don't think so. Maybe they are, but I don't think so, because I don't think anybody loves to be in Yaoundé more than they love to be in Boya. So if all of us love to be in Boya, then let us work towards getting our independence and going to Boya and hoisting our flag at the Prime Minister's Lodge.
Thank you very much. I think we'll leave it at that. I'll come now to Barrister Nde, because this is affecting him directly. We say all for one, one for all. And if something is wrong, we condemn it. We don't want all these threats. We want it to stop. People should stop threatening each other. If you have differences, people will always have differences. In every aspect of life, there are people always have differences. It shouldn't resort to threat. It's something that is not within the law, and we should stay away from it, because if people are saying that some people have been banned to enter some countries because of these threats, it means that it's not right. So I think we should stop doing it. Barrister Nde, please tell us, what did you go to do in UNPO? And what are the thoughts you brought from us to us from?
Thank you very much. Before I get there, I just want to say that I support in total what Comrade Emmanuel Kemchang, our able comrades have said. I subscribe totally to your opinion insofar as this is concerned. It is a total distraction, and I don't pay attention to it.
Yeah,
they do it, but I keep focus.
Okay.
I continue to do what I do. I don't follow it, and I don't fight back. No, I don't do that. I don't even have the time for that. I don't have the time to go fighting. Okay, coming back to your question now. I went to the UNPO because it is an office I know, and I've been there several times. It was routine to me to check out there. Professionally, I do go there.
Okay.
I'm not going there because I had to go to ask the UNPO to revoke the admission of Southern Cameroons because it was done by the AGC. first of all, the interim government never mandated me to go there for any such procedure. And secondly, I have never written, contrary to what they are writing all over on social media, I have never initiated any procedure.
Okay.
Asking this house, the UNPO, to revoke the admission of Southern Cameroon in favor of the interim government as they are reporting. Those are false. Those are misrepresentation of reality. I went there because you understand that we in Belgium, we took the initiative to reinstate Southern Cameroon in the UNPO. And Comrade Ayamba stood up in our meeting and said that the 1,000 euros that we were asked to pay, he will pay the money on behalf of Belgium. He has already paid the money even.
Okay.
This is a public statement. There are many people who were present in that meeting when he stood and said he had already paid the money on behalf of Belgium. Okay. So it later on turned to be that no, that money was not paid by Larry on behalf of Belgium, but somehow I cannot explain the circumstances under which that money was paid, but I now understand that it was paid by the agency. Okay. And you also understand that there was a second payment.
Yes, from the government.
By SCACO.
Yes. SCACO, yes, and Irima.
In fact, there are two applications. There were two applications with the UNPO. Okay. And if UNPO came out to rule that we are reinstated under the agency, it means that the agency did its work. As I got it from my findings, that the agency properly did its work. And that's how we have this logical conclusion for a job well done. And that's why I'm giving them credit, contrary to what they think. And I made a report, and in my report, I outlined that no, the agency did an application and they followed it up properly. And the SCACO filed in an application, and with all the complications, complexity of the situation, and all what transpired and the transformation, that application was never actualized, and today we are where we are. But I, however, recommended that it is the place of the government to say that, oh, this is my child in the house, because whether the agency likes it or not, the agency is under the government.
Yes.
The government should come out and appreciate the agency for taking us, for making us to be reinstated therein. So that was the situation. So the SCNC also consulted me officially to go to that, to find out how the UNPO could have admitted Southern Cameroons under the agency and not under the SCNC, which really taken us to that platform. So I went there and I made those findings. And the question, all the insult, misrepresentation, all these are false. These are not important. I mean, the issue is that we have been admitted, and the credit goes to the agency for doing that. That is a fact, and we have it at hand. So to go around saying that I went there making statements that agency is an armed group, admission should be revoked under the interim government. I mean, that is a farce. That is just comedy. That is not the issue. There is no such procedure ongoing. I don't know where they get those facts. And in fact, a reporter should check his facts before he goes on air. Because when I called Margaret, I said, if you had reached out to me,
you get the fact.
You have reported what is reported under emotions, as you claimed. And it's unfortunate that we were there. So, what am I saying? I'm saying that if it is discovered that the AGC is an armed group, will it come through Baristande? I mean, it is out there on social media for everybody to see. There are weapons being brandished on social media all over the place, and it is unfortunate. These are not the type of things you take to the public, you know? So
okay, I think let me cut you short there. I think the combatant Emmanuel is about to leave because he has his meeting and we should be ending in 8 minutes. So I'm going to give him the last chance to say his last words before he leaves the platform. Please, Mr. Emmanuel, you can say your final words and then you'll be allowed to leave the platform. I think it's been a great pleasure bringing you on the platform, and I can tell you a lot of good comments I've been reading, people congratulating you for coming on this platform to talk today. So please, can you advise us, give us your last words, and then you can leave. Thank you.
The last word I want to talk now say, my people then, I beg, this dictator where they come for London, make you no ever forget, because I know say after this travel where you go do for London, probably I go just go die, because more time go die, say we go solve this problem where it happen for the whole country. We go solve them. So, and then the second thing I want to talk now say, this problem where we the years so Anglophone problem, so it don't pass money. Eh? Nobody know they will give money, say go stop this struggle. It don't lie. Not lie. Don't quarter na lie. Because when you say you take money for Pobia for time to destroy the struggle, we go just put you aside, we'll continue. Now the people they don't know, eh? Yes. People not know. Man, where they go say what take money for Pobia, may not say that money go pushy, and he go only go there with that money because he not go do nothing for this struggle where they inside. Because when you take money, you say you want spoil the struggle, they'll just put you aside and then would continue. Now, problem where don't pass money, yes. And Biade for no say, he no fit win this struggle because say this generation that they call they say generation WhatsApp, generation Twitter, generation internet, Facebook. Generation Facebook. How you fit fight them? You don't fit. Maybe that generation for time for phone chat and then it don't finish. Now WhatsApp. See the whole the talk now so. That time when they be defined with the phone chat, this thing they be. So Bia, you don't feel win this kind of struggle. You don't cut the internet, you know waka. You don't do it, you know waka. You just don't work, you go work and I will say, you know go ever work, so you be a loser. Yeah, you are a loser. Loser, quarter, you don't lose. So thank you very much for inviting me for this program. And thank you. And I say, una back.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. You'll be free now to leave. Have a good evening and have a blessed day. Thank you. Hopefully we'll see you down there when we are going to disrupt. We will see you there.
Of course, I will be there. Thank you very much.
Okay, no problem. Bye. Yeah, bye. Yes, so Baristande, your turn. Please make it snappy because people are tired of this our topic. This is our UNPO. People are tired of it. We just want to get to the point. What did you find out? And I'm going to just brief you a bit on in terms of where we're at in terms of the UNPO. Because I didn't know anything. I had to contact Yerima and heard firsthand. That's why I brought him to the show because he knows a lot of things. He sent me some of the emails that were sent from UNPO. Apparently, when the AGC paid the $1,000, they found out that they had paid. They went to Skakov and said, AGC said to them, if they reimburse them the $1,000, then it solves the problem. That at the time it moved to the governing council, and we have Seseko that came on board. The money was given from Germany, so Germany can testify to that. They transferred this $1,000 to pay for the UNPO. When they decided to reimburse the money, Seseko was not, or the government at the time did not trust the AGC that if they gave them this $1,000, tomorrow they might turn around and say, we did not give them any money, and there'll be this fighting back and forth. So for them to avoid the fight, they decided to pay the money directly to UNPO and said, let the UNPO decide which one is a legitimate body to be seated at the UNPO. So that's how they paid the money. But why they paid that money, they needed to give all the documents to say that the struggle has had moved through different stages from the NCNC to SCACOF, right to the governing council. They needed to show documents of all this growth that they've had, if you want to call it that. But as at the time when they finished the Meet the People tour, Siseko was abducted. So in the midst of us confused what we needed to do, that one was just lying there. Nobody ever did any follow-up. So at that time, the AGC created the ACT, which they thought it was their own platform. They used the ACT to say it represents the people of Ambazonia. That is a platform that all groups are one, whereas it's some 3 groups. And they went and presented. So they took the opportunity while we were involved and chasing and following up what is happening with Siseko. They went to the UNPO with ACT, and then that's how they were recognized as the country that represents us, or the group that represents us. But they had never had the covenant. So they've just had the admission letter. They have never been initiated or they have not signed the covenant paper to be part of the UNPO. So they were still in the process. They had not finished. They went and blowed it out of proportion and put it on social media. That is when they now thought, oh, what's going on here? How come the AGC, it's not a united platform, has gotten this letter? And then he went back to the UNPO, and that's when they've asked them now to submit all the documents to prove that they are the legitimate body. They are the legitimate people that represents the people of Southern Cameroon, and they are in the process of gathering the documents to submit. And it's up to the UNPO to determine which in between the two of them will be seated at this prestigious organization. And he told me a whole lot of things as they've been instrumental in the past. In the time of Fongalanfo, when he was arrested in Cameroon, they had done a lot of things. So they only work for the members that in this organization. They don't, if you're not part of them, whatever problem you have, they don't care. If we were part of them, we had done all the paperwork, they would have helped us a lot since the abduction of Siseko. They would have helped push organization, push Pobia, push Nigeria. Maybe, just maybe, would have probably had some clue about where they are. But because we had not completed our registration, that's why they are not doing anything to look for our abducted leaders. So that's why we should push for that, because I want to see Siseko as soon as possible. I think he's done his time. People that said he was a newcomer, he's already paid the price. He's paid enough price as of now. I think it's about time that he comes out and keep this struggle moving. So Barrister, they tell us what you found out in terms of the applications and everything. What do we need to ensure that we complete this registration?
Thank you very much for that question. First of all, I will be very frank with you to tell you that this matter was being handled by the government without the knowledge of Belgium, without my knowledge.
Okay.
So the persons who were involved in this, I did not even know what was going on. They had never briefed me. They've never told me anything that was happening there. So I'm only seeing the result as you yourself you're seeing now. And all these things that are unveiling themselves now and we are seeing, I'm just also just observing like you. I was never involved in any procedure, and neither in the reapplication, as you are saying.
Yeah,
I am not involved in it. I don't even know the actors. I don't know. Now you're saying that Yerima is doing this. I understand, but the fact is, somebody on ground zero from the SCNC also told me that they are sending letters to the UNPO, and the fact, and what I gathered there is that many persons, individuals,
have written to them and said
to them.
Yes, the AGC is
giving all types of complaints.
Yeah,
against the AGC.
Yes, I heard that too.
I have never written any letter to them. I just went there because there was a monetary issue. There was a concern. Money was paid, double payment. And I had to go and clarify the situation. So what I can give you as facts is that they confirmed to me that they received money from SCACOF.
Okay.
That's what I can tell you.
Okay.
That is that confirmation. And they confirmed to me that indeed there were 2 applications.
Okay.
This was a fact.
Okay.
Yes. About the letters, all the other issues, I don't know anything about that because I don't know To the best of my knowledge, there is no application there is no reapplication for.
Yes, there is not. No, because we had already registered since in the time of NCNC, so we are not re-registering. So the agency saying we are re-registering is a lie. We're just paying our dues as readmission, like you said. It's readmission. And not a new registration. So that is clear. And I think for me, the facts you brought back is just all that people need to know. There is 2 applications pending. The money was paid from SCBC and the money has been paid by AGC. Yes, those are facts. Yeah. And if anybody wants to,
nobody can contest them.
They can still call it. The organization is open to clarify them. Let us allow the organization to make a decision. Who has the right to sit on their organization? Let's allow that. Let's leave it in their hands to decide, and we'll keep it moving. And we'll keep our eyes on it because this is an issue that has come up, and I think it's not something we can just ignore because it has to do with 2 organizations that we are all Ambazonian part of it. So we need to keep an eye and ensure that at the end we see what the developments come to conclusion with. So we'll be watching it closely to get the result, and we'll probably be reporting to you as it progresses. But right now, as it stands, the AG has admission letter. The SCBC had paid. The government is compiling its papers to submit to gain back our registration. We'll leave it at that. I'll come to Mr. Isaac. I know there's something that is itching in your tummy about this ground zero. You need to tell us how we should be mindful, we should watch our backs. Please tell us.
Yes, thank you, Gilly. My focus in this struggle is on ground zero.
Yeah.
And I want to get to Boya as soon as yesterday.
Okay.
And so I'm going to focus all my energies to help see that we get to Boya.
Okay.
What is of most importance to me this week is that we read a report that came out of COM or from Boyo Division, which was written by some elites from that area or from people from that area, a report which I consider very, very credible about the visit of the La République General to go see the paramount form of COM. And the paramount form of COM could not meet the general because he has been in power for less than a year, and within COM tradition, the fund cannot come out of the palace and meet strangers except on particular days, and he cannot go out of his palace to either Bello or anywhere until after a year.
Okay.
So because of that, I think that the La République General is going to take this as a slap in the face.
Okay.
And considering the enormous successes that we've registered in Boyo County as a whole, I am really worried that the La République, Paul Biya and his clique, they will try to do something to the fund of COM.
Oh,
and
so
I say this.
I need to watch out.
Yes, I say this because since October 2016, we've seen all the funds of Yaoundé parade themselves in front of TV and rubbing shoulders with Atanganji and Philemon Yang and all the other people from La République. We have not seen the fund of COM. We have seen that the fund of COM has stood with his people. And that is what La République doesn't like.
Okay.
And that combined with the fact that the people and the Ambazonians self-defense forces in Boyo have resisted La République to such an extent. I'm very leery that La République wants to do something against the fund. Okay. And so what I would want to suggest this evening is that the people of Boyo, we have to protect our fund. I don't know how we are going to do it.
Okay.
But we have to do everything possible to ensure that nothing wrong happens to our fund. I don't know where the fund stands with regard to this struggle, but the fact that he respected the tradition of not coming to meet strangers on the day that he's not supposed to tells me that is somebody that we have to protect, because he is protecting our culture. We have to protect our own. And so my appeal now is that the people of Boyo in general should do everything, even if it means talking to our ancestors to wake up from sleep and protect Comland, and particularly the fort of Com. The people of Com should do that.
Okay.
Go to our ancestors and tell them it is time for them to come and protect the fund, because La République can do anything to our funds. And this goes to other to our other defense forces all over across Amazonia. Be each other's keeper. If you see something, say nothing. Particularly to the La République, who are enemies. We have to work together to ensure that we protect ourselves. And I keep saying this, Boya is just around the corner.
Thank you very much. Boya is round the corner. You can hear this is coming from the man himself, from Ground Zero. All he's been here is talk about Ground Zero. And I think for so long we've been disconnected between the diaspora and Ground Zero. And people keep saying that diaspora should disappear. The Ground Zero is the one that's taking us to Boya. We need both, because somehow the knowledge he's coming from, he's in the diaspora and he's reporting everything that is happening on Ground Zero. If he wasn't in the diaspora, I'm not sure he'll be able to report all of this. So we need both parts to work so we can go to Boya as soon as possible. I'm going to go to Baristande to talk about, I heard an audio going around saying that they're going to kill our boys from 13 and above. And I think there was something in it that he mentioned about a defense group doing show off on Facebook. They've covered their face and they were trying to show their strength. Is that needed at this time? And I'm going to come back last to Mr. Zaman on this one. Whether this show off and I don't know whether showmanship that's going on in this struggle is actually helping or not helping. But I'll start with Baristande. We heard that audio today, and I think it's something that we should bring to light. All our brothers and sisters and that back home to watch over the boys. I've always said that women need to step up in this struggle, because I know that what happens in war is they always go for the men, and then we the women, we need to step up at some point to take over, because they go for they try and take away the power that is within us. So Baristande, please, this what would you say to it, and do you think it was right for this defense group showing off on Facebook?
Thank you very much. I think that it is unfortunate that we are reaching this state of affairs.
Yeah.
These are very sensitive issues that are rather dealt with behind the door or under the table.
Mm-hmm.
These are not issues that you expose in public.
Yeah.
And, when you look at those boys, we just understand that there had been no training. If there was any training, it was just summarized.
Yeah.
And, we thought that this would be the type of things, the type of issues that we should be dealing with insofar as training and drilling those boys are concerned.
Yeah.
I don't know who is advising this, but I think the problem is clamoring for resources, sponsor.
Okay.
It's unfortunate that we are getting here.
Yes.
I just want to say that we should continue to encourage the government to speed the process of bringing all these groups together, because those are some of the problems that we're taking care of.
Okay.
Because if all those groups were being given attention, I think we will not be reaching this level of public show.
Yeah.
No serious person, no serious group will be coming out like that in public to do this type of thing.
And put themselves in harm's way and in danger.
It is really very unfortunate that we're getting there. It's too bad. I felt very bad when I saw those groups. So when I see those videos, I feel very bad.
Me too.
We need to work very hard to tell people that no, this is not the way this type of sensitive issues are handled. Even the brandishing of weapons on social media, we shouldn't do this. For those who are doing it, I don't know what is their intention, but please, these are not the type of things that you show in public. Because first of all, you expose yourself, you expose your weakness to the enemy, and you give some indices for the enemy to now use to get to you easily. And it is something that should really be discouraged. Thank you.
Thank you. I think, Mr. Zaman, you know you're speaking for Ground Zero. Is there a way that you can find a platform where you can talk to maybe the commander or the boys that know these boys that can say this is not acceptable, it shouldn't be welcome anywhere?
Yes, absolutely, Gilly. But, I take this video from a different perspective.
Okay.
I think it was a good thing that this video came out.
Okay.
Because then we get to learn what we should do and what we shouldn't do.
Okay.
At the time that all of us started this struggle, we're all novices behind it. Novices in this struggle. And there was Facebook where people wanted to show that they were working. I don't think that, our boys who did that video, they had a negative or they had a bad intention. No, they didn't. They didn't. But the consequences that arose out of them showing their faces is that it exposes them to the enemy.
Yeah.
And it exposes them to the enemy. But what lessons do we learn from that? I think the ground commander should watch that video.
Yeah.
And then use that as a training tool.
Yes.
For all our ground forces and everybody on Ground Zero, that we have to know who says what, when, and how on the air. It is not everything that we have to portray on the air. What I can say is, if the guys on Ground Zero are if they're interested in having their pictures taken, they can take those pictures and keep them on their phones. And when we have a national museum in Boya, a national Amazonia Independence Museum, then we'll have some of those pictures and some of those videos displayed. But for now, please, our everybody in Amazonia, we don't need to see pictures of like big soldiers that you killed or that went 6 feet down.
Yeah.
We don't need to see those. We trust you that you are going to deliver our independence for us. So don't prove it to us. We trust you. We know it, and we are going to help you with whatever resources that we can muster to take for you guys on the ground to take us to Boya.
Thank you. And I think for me, Ubia Eric had said they're doing this to request for funds. So the motive is funding. Exposure of arms on social media is to raise funds. So I think Barrister, they said the same thing, that most of them, their motive is to get funds. So I think it's upon us, the onus is on us to find a way of telling this group that you don't need to show off. These are the people we're working with. If you go and liaise with these people, somehow we'll fund you, because then they can also vet you whether you're right, whether your motives are right. Because you can't just fund anybody that just wake up and start taking pictures and putting on social media. So you need some form of vetting. And I think that I'm leaving that for the government to do. That's not up to me. I don't know anything about self-defense. I don't want to claim to know. So I think that people like Mr. Zaman, that you know too much and are doing it, please feedback to the right quarters and things to be done effectively. And if this money is the drive, we should find a way of telling them that money is available. So nobody needs to do any show off to get money. I'm going to conclude this show for today. I think we've done, it's a long show. We've done more than 2 hours. I was coming for an hour, but then I was told that people enjoy what they were listening to in the back office. They're enjoying themselves more than the people that are watching us, and they wanted more time. That's why we've been here 2 hours. I'm going to give last words and we conclude. I'm going to start with Barrister Nde. Please say it as you feel. This is your last words to everything. You can touch on all the topic that we've talked about.
Yeah, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Yeah.
It is always a pleasure to come out and try to say one or two things that should push our struggle forward. What I want to say is that what is being propagated or on social media against my person is just cheap blackmail.
Okay.
And I will end it there. The second message I will have will be directed to Belgium.
Yeah. I
want to say that you see the struggle continues. We are currently reorganizing Belgium.
Yeah.
And that project is ongoing.
Okay.
We went out today to reorganize Brussels.
Yeah.
We will be moving to other cities as well to organize them.
Yeah.
And thereafter, we will meet. We will call a national conclave.
Okay.
A national conclave of Belgium, wherein a national executive for Southern Cameroon will be put in place. Will be elected. Permanent executive will be elected for Belgium.
Great.
At the same time, we are calling on them to come out and support the project from the interim president, my trip to Buea.
Yeah.
Every opportunity that we have to push that project forward. Please, those who have not yet done so, let them come out. For those who made pledges,
yeah,
it is time for them to redeem those pledges.
Okay.
And we are further asking Belgium to prepare for a grand occasion that will be announced in the future, wherein we will get all the cultural groups involved to finally conclude this project of my trip to Buea. You understand what I mean?
Yes.
So that night will be the final night where we will oversee the contribution of everybody, every group. We want all Southern Cameroonians in Belgium to get involved into this. Thank you very much. And that is all from me.
Thank you, Barrister Nde. And I think that's an applause from you saying that Belgium is reorganizing itself. It has been through some tough time over the past. And if you guys have made the decision to want to reorganize yourself, I think it's the best way forward, because no matter, even if I leave the UK and come to Belgium and try and talk to you guys, it will never work, because you guys know who has what strengths and what weaknesses. It's only within you that you can solve your problems. And I think if you've decided to go down this way, I'm in full support of what you're doing, and hopefully we'll come to the you know me, I travel along. I like travel.
Thank you very much. You shall be welcome.
I'll come to celebrate with you when it's time to celebrate. Yeah, I'm coming to Mr. Zaman. What is happening on Ground Zero? And conclude to me whatever is happening in the US.
For our folks in Ground Zero, this week has been an excellent week, and we look forward to another excellent week from Ukambe to Ndian. Our ground forces, our guys on Ground Zero should stay. Don't get involved in all the noise that is coming from us here in the diaspora. We have too much time to waste.
Yeah.
And so that's why you're seeing all the time. Our guys, on the ground should keep working, and particularly the Economic Self-Defense Unit. Please, the Economic Self-Defense Unit, please get to work. We are all behind you, and get the enemy to run for their money. Don't let any single timber truck leave from Mamfe to Douala.
Yeah.
No oil should leave from Lobe to Douala. Those are the resources of our mothers and our fathers and our brothers who are on Ground Zero, and they should have that. for those of us here in the diaspora,
Yeah.
all I can appeal is that you don't have to like me. I don't have to like you.
Yeah.
But we can work together. We are Ambazonians.
Yeah.
And so if we focus on that,
Yeah.
then Hoya is going to be a stone throw away. And so thank you very much, Gilly, for inviting me.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure, and I hope that our people, particularly in COM, should take care of our fund. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you very much. I think that is loud and clear, to take care of the phone of COM. He's repeated that he's worried for his life because he did not come out to welcome the visitors that came from Yaoundé. He respected his tradition, and because of that, he is scared for his life. So those who have families in COM, please, can you relay that message to us? They need to watch over their fund. It's me, Gilly. I don't know what to say, but I think you guys have seen everything I do here is just to ensure that information is out there, so people use the right information to work with. I think for me, I don't want to sell it from my point. I want to sell it from the people that knows what they're talking about in regards to any topic. When I hear of a topic or I hear of an issue going on, I find the best hands. I find those who know everything about it to come and tell us, because I think they say my people perish for lack of knowledge. And I think what I'm doing is bringing that knowledge to the people to be able to make informed choice. And for me, I think that what I've been seeing lately on the bloggers, they need to redress and recalculate and refocus. I think they've lost focus somewhere along the line. I'll talk about the Barretta news and the Amber news. I've realized a lot of wrong reporting. They're done.
Because presently I stay at the DH.
So,
my frame zone, I don't come up from one frame down.
I've heard a wrong reporting about Francis Awudo in Switzerland, where he went to represent the IJ, and they made a whole hoo-ha about his representation. That wasn't right either. So I think I am not condemning them. I don't know at what space they are in. Like Barrister, they said maybe they're reporting with emotions. We should refocus and move away from emotion and only report facts. We owe it to the people to report facts and nothing but facts. It doesn't matter which group you pay allegiance to, but ensure that whatever you're reporting is on tape. It should be facts. It can be verified. And you don't want your name to be linked to falsehood. I don't want my name. That's why I try and get the people that know exactly what they're talking about to come and tell us. So Barretta News, and take note, and Amber News of Akoso Raymond, take note. Please go back to reporting facts. Pay your allegiance to the groups that you want to pay allegiance to, but don't deceive the people of Ambazonia. It's unfair. We've already been deceived for 56 years. We don't want to continue the lies amongst us. I will leave that at that. And I will just say, in terms of Baristande's situation, I never spoke to Baristande. I haven't spoken to him since last year, September. I met him in Germany. So I don't know how that came about. I don't influence nobody in the government. I only do my show. So people saying that I influenced the government to send him to UNPO, that is a lie. I don't have that kind of powers to influence the government. I wish I did. If I had that kind of powers, I'm sure Pobia would have been gone. Because I'm fighting for his blood, boy. Let me talk like English. Let me calm down some English accent. I'm vying for his blood, mate. So tell him if he's anywhere, he's coming down, you're ready for him. So I'm not vying for the AGC's blood. So anybody there that is fighting me, you're fighting yourself, I beg. Bobia is our enemy. Let's all fight for him. And the government, the interim government, remains our government. It's not in competition with the AGC. AGC is a group and falls under the government. That is not by choice, it's by right. It's already here. We can't change it. Until we have another government, we only have one. And the leader of that government right now, or the interim president, is somewhere Sako Ikome. And until something happens to him like Siseko, he remains our leader. And I pay allegiance only to him and him alone. And not that he is perfect, neither is government perfect. I've not said that. They have their flaws. They're all making mistakes and they're learning from it. But I work with them from the basis that I'm ready to strengthen them so that they can take me to Buea in the shortest possible time. I'm not fighting to destroy them because it doesn't help my cause in any way. If I want to look at the pros and the cons, or you weigh the benefits. If I'm supporting AGC, I'm not helping the struggle. But if I'm supporting the government, and I'm sure that I'm taking myself one step to Buea. So it's your decision to make. If you think throwing AGC all over the place is going to take you to Buea, I'll meet you there. If you think standing by the government, it will take you to Buea in the shortest possible time, I'll also meet you in Buea. The choice is yours to make. And today is another Sunday. Before I close up, I'll try and urge people to go and sign the Ambazonia Prisoners for Conscience website. It's online and it's for the Naira 12, Seseko, and they're no longer the Naira 12, we call them now the Naira 10, because we have Dr. Ojong that is out and Barrister Nalova B that is out as well. So we have the Naira 10 and we have all our other prisoners on ground zero, like Penn Terrence, who was just sentenced a few days back. And they have, if we see the sentence, they are coming up to sentencing Mancho BBC soon. And once they finish with Mancho BBC, we are sure that they are going to be sentencing Seseko and the rest in the near future. That's what I am seeing that is there. That's the plan that is coming up because they've been sentencing a lot lately. So we need to come together. Please sign that petition. We need to fight. We need to scream and shout. We have to fight in ground zero, but we have our prisoners that are depending on us. We have our refugees in Nigeria. We can never forget these people. They are refugees because of us. So we are fighting this thing in three different fronts. We have ground zero, we have the prisoners, and we have the refugees in Nigeria. Everything you do should be targeted at one of these fronts that we are fighting each other. Let's try to make sure that we don't get all our people sentenced and killed because we are busy fighting ourselves and leaving them to languish, and they went there because of us, because they believed in what we believe in right now. So please go to the website. It's called Ambazonia Prisoners of Conscience. It represents all the prisoners of Ambazonia. This is not only about Seseko, this is about every child, brother, sister that has been to prison or that's still going to prison. And we can be proud now to say that since we start handling these people, Mr. Zaman would agree with me that they've stopped arresting our boys and taking to Yaoundé. So it means they were looking for a fight, and we're giving them one. And we're giving them one that front continues to take care of the ones that are already with them. We already have 10 parents with them. What are we doing to ensure they come out soon? I am involved in this campaign. It's closer to my heart because Seseko was more than a president to me, was a friend, was a brother, was a family friend to me. And to me, I fight this with everything I have. I will be in America sometimes this week, Mr. Zaman, and I'm going in favor of these prisoners for conscience to speak about it. And I think it deserves all the publicity it can get. Please sign up the petition. It's not a joke. We need every signature that we can get to push forward. Congress is already signing some of the petition, are ready to work with us to ensure that they don't sentence Mancho BBC anytime soon. So please the refugees. I'm going to end here. I think it's been a long day. I wish everybody a blessed Sunday. Did you want to say something, Mr. Zaman? Quickly, please.
Yes, I just wanted to remind people about the Never Again campaign, which is another campaign to sign petitions to the president of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, about the genocide that's going on in Amazonia. So please, for those people who are back at home, just go on Facebook and you will see the petition. Please please, everybody in diaspora, it takes 2 minutes to sign it. It will work. Diplomacy is going to work as just as good as our guys on ground zero are working. And then the last thing for you folks in London, Gilly, or in the UK, please make us proud. Talk to SCBC to transmit this thing live. So that our people back at home can watch it. You know, tomorrow is country.